a SEMA gas system, a completely new gearbox design, a new GNG gun. I mean, another news, grass is green with GNG, but... Hey guys, I'm Running with Scissors, and today I'm going to run through some of the Airsoft stuff to keep your eyes out for in 2023. So stay tuned for a lot of really cool stuff. I'm not sponsored by any of the companies that I mentioned in this video. I made this video purely out of my own interest and excitement, and I wanted to share that excitement with you guys. So let's get into it.
Starting off with a smaller manufacturer, Silverback Airsoft. Silverback Airsoft, responsible for the very popular Desertec SRS Sniper Replica, and I say popular because this thing won 4 annual Popular Airsoft Awards for Best Sniper in a row, is making their first AEG. Thankfully, just like the SRS, it's a bullpup. For the first time in forever, it's not an Ares. The gun is the Desertec MDRX, which looks absolutely amazing. But this isn't another gun with a proprietary gearbox jammed in the rear. Silverback could have just easily thrown a version 2 gearbox with a stupidly long hop-up unit inside and called it a day, but instead they chose to innovate. They've basically redesigned the gearbox at this point. The gearbox is certainly unique looking. This is because it features a no tappet plate, with presumably a similar design to the Aztec cylinder head design. The gun also features a split gearbox design with a quick change spring, 18:1 gears, a metal rack piston, a short type motor, and an ETU with a CPU that sports Dean's wiring. It's safe to say that this gun will be jam-packed with goodies, including a flat hop rubber and a unique hop-up design that thankfully shares a similar design to the wheel types that every airsofter wants in their gun. Now, after the fiasco that was the Flak 10, it's safe to worry about a smaller company like this making a gun with a lot of promises, but this isn't Silverback's first rodeo. They've made a lot of guns in the past, and they seem to be rationing out machined aluminum parts pretty well, unlike Airsoft Innovations. Now, the MDRX is available, well, now! At around $550. It comes in a plethora of colors and is pretty customizable, with an interchangeable handguard, pistol grip, and barrel. It's probably real spec compatible with grips and handguards, but take that info with a grain of salt. Oh, and it feeds from these AR-10 style mags, which are probably compatible with the SR-25 style mags, that's to say with the feed lips being at the front. Although, again, take that information with a grain of salt. Despite the fact that I don't have a physical one with me here, I'm excited to see how the gearbox fares and how this gun turns out. I may even get one of my own, since I love bullpups. On the topic of innovating in the gearbox world, GNG comes swinging with their all-new G3 gearbox. This gun, just like the company next up on the list that's notorious for throwing these in any of their guns, features a split gearbox design. That's not all this gun has to offer though. The brand new hop-up system allows for 36 different increments of hop adjustment. Hop-up features these metal arms that lock onto the gearbox shell to secure itself, and is adjusted by clicking the front of the gun like a mock gas regulator, rather than through a mock bolt. The mock bolt, however, does reciprocate, and farther back than the normal M4 AEGs, with a functional bolt catch. However, this doesn't reveal any hop-up, simply the gearbox and, well, the arms of the hop-up. Separating the receiver grants access to the upper and lower halves of the gearbox. The upper half contains a small IR laser to interface with the MOSFET, specifically for a no-fire on empty feature, so no proprietary mags. On the topic of the MOSFET, GNG designed it to be quick detach, which looks like if it's burnt out, it could be easily swapped out for a new one on the field. I'd like to see this design in an LMG if these pick up. The idea of quick and easily swappable parts for one would make LMG AEGs more of a commonplace in comparison to the current HPA LMG meta. This MOSFET enables precocking, adjustable trigger settings, fire mode settings, and will be adjusted by a remote control as their Type 64 is. I wasn't all here for this gun. I didn't think another proprietary gearbox would be good for Airsoft until I realized there was a legitimate innovation, which is rare for gearboxes. I appreciate GNG for trying to innovate, and although I think some things in this gun are a tad over-engineered, especially the remote-controlled MOSFET, I think the performance speaks for itself.
Out of the box, this one left a great impression.
And I know I'll see these on the field when they're released on the market. GNG has yet to feature the gearbox design in anything other than their yet-to-be-released SGR-556. I dig the Strike Industries inspired build to it. This kind of aesthetic seems to be super popular right now. Toronto Airsoft just did a video on this gun and I suggest you check it out. It's a very good overview and it certainly got me hyped. On to the brand boasting the biggest catalog of soon-to-be BB throwers, ICS. I'll start off with the model I'm most excited for. This thing. The name is yet to be announced, but based off the receiver, I'll call it the Raptor for now. Initially, I thought this was going to be a new AEG, which excites me as a Carbine 308 M4 wasn't really available on the market aside from GNG's. They've really been gaining in popularity recently, from Evike Matt's build overview to US Airsoft plugging how he wanted a stubby one of his own. I'd say the biggest influence on this kind of subconscious herd mentality to crave short-barreled .308 rifle replicas is probably because of the SIG Spear and standardization of higher caliber rifles in place of normal ones. Plus, straight mags just make any gun look good. But to my surprise, on close inspection of this infographic, the gun has GBBR in bold lettering behind it. This is really exciting. ICS has been kinda going nuts with their gas stuff recently, including some future titles I'll get to discussing, so seeing a big guy with their gas system inside is pretty exciting. I'm curious on parts compatibility, definitely guessing it'll feature a proprietary bolt because of the mags. I'm really happy Airsoft is getting another 308 AR GBBR, since the only other option was VFC, and VFC is kinda hard to get your mitts on. Hopefully this will be more of an incentive for CQB players to run a CQB GBBR, since the relatively expensive MWS platform is on the rise in CQB scapes. More on the MWS later though. In terms of aforementioned pistols, ICS is bringing their competitively designed ICS ICP, or Innovation Competition Pistol. The gun is similar to Glock's, appearing to take Glock mags, and can switch to full auto or semi depending on how you're feeling that day. It's a pretty snappy gun, and the aesthetics are very nice, especially those unique looking lightning cuts. I feel like this pistol exists not just to make Glocks even more competitive, but judging by its similar features to the Poseidon Orion pistol, it seems to have been built just for competition in the market. I guess we'll know when all of these products drop sometime this year. Time to mention the other cephalopod in the room, Krytac. Following what seems to be their annual release schedule, Krytac enters 2023 with their SilencerCo Maxim 9 replica. Just like the real one, the gun has bottom key mod slots, a tiny reciprocating slide, and a very unique design. The gun also can switch from semi to full auto, just like the AAP-01 and WE Galaxy, although it's a tad more sluggish. However, I'm basing this off of clips of pre-production model. The gun will be compatible with Glock mags and Marui spec in terms of the barrel assembly. The gun is available for pre-order currently, with a plethora of packages spanning from Krytac's first tracer unit to spare mags. The cheapest package will run you a whopping $240 American dollars.
I am the way.
Now personally, I appreciate the addition of new replicas, but from a gameplay perspective, these just aren't all that. You can buy an AAP-01 for simply $100, and they're far more upgradable and perform better than what's being advertised. Now that's not to say don't buy it, spend your money on what you like, but from my perspective, I just don't think I'll ever own one. In my opinion, Krytac should move their design principles and ideas to more innovative options like Airsoft unique designs. AWA is making leaps and bounds with their new KO series, and it's not just because they had some help designing from SYG Sapo. Finally, a release from my favorite brand. I present the CYMA gas system. This new gas rifle by CYMA is entirely MWS compatible, and is the first gas-operating gun by CYMA. CYMA is known for their robust and reliable guns at a cheap price, and as someone who's dug through several of their guns, I can say that this will most likely be a make-or-break option for beginners in the GBBR world. In case this price is too expensive, Golden Eagle are making the exact same rifle that is also entirely MWS compatible, but at a lower price. I don't think I'll ever know the answer, but I'm wondering if Marui made the decision to produce these just to bloat the market with MWS compatibility, or if Evike ordered production of these out of the kindness of its heart. Regardless, expect more from CYMA this year. They're pretty secretive with their upcoming releases, but they drop some super neat stuff. Like for example, this AK Alpha replica they dropped last year. Hopefully they drop this rifle stubbier variant, that being a replica of the Kalashnikov MA, since this has to be one of the coolest looking guns I've ever seen. Now before the video ends, I've got a quick update to give. ASG is making a B&T APC, praying its gas blowback. And Arcturus has a new split gearbox design in the all-new Cat series. This series will have mechanical precocking, a split gearbox, and a stock with an adjustable butt pad. Very unique. Haven't seen a stock like this before.
Anyways, those are what I presume to be the heavy hitters in Airsoft in 2023. So what do you want to see in 2023? Comment below. I know the H-Car and its mystery machine looking ass is really popular right now, and I'd love to see one made in Airsoft, probably by VFC or more preferably SEMA. Personally, I'd like to see a Galil Ace made. I don't really care who makes it, I just want one. So yeah, that's it. I hope you found this video informative and agree with some of my opinions on the stuff coming in 2023. But that's all for this video. See you guys. Hey guys,